This has got to be probably one of, if not the best week of the entire year, because the start of the 2021 NFL regular season is just 2 days away. Boy, oh boy, I cannot wait. We have the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the reigning Super Bowl champs. My boy, number 12, Tom fucking Brady, will be taking on Dak Prescott, who is apparently ready for week one, obviously. That isn't news. It shouldn't be. He was dealing with that little shoulder stiffness or soreness, whatever it was, during training camp. We've seen that on Hard Knocks, but he is set to go for week one. Should be a good matchup. But we will definitely be diving into that game, plus other matchups that are going to be heading into the start or opening weekend tomorrow. And, kind of giving you my 2 cents on what games to watch, kind of what ones to keep your eye on, potential hot players that are going to go off for your fantasy teams around the league, hopefully. And we'll kind of go from there. But today, however, we're going to jump into some of the things that happened, since this show last Thursday. We weren't going to take yesterday off, but we decided the hell with it, went frisbee golfing, had a few cold ones with some buddies and did my thing. So we're here today. We're going to get to some of those pieces of information that we missed. There's not much, just a couple little points I want to get out there. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? Okay, we're going to dive right into things with college football. Okay, there was a lot of decent games that were played this weekend. I didn't get to watch too many. I watched that Minnesota-Ohio game, which actually probably was the only one I got to watch. I wanted to watch the Georgia-Clemson one. I ended up forgetting about it later in the night. Had other things going on. But that's just how it is. So we're going to kind of go and really highlight that Buckeyes game. And then we're going to talk briefly about other games and other star athletes that kind of went off. So we're going to start, like I said, with that Minnesota Golden Gophers at home taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Okay, well, Gophers ended up losing 45-31. We said that, last Friday, I believe it was, when I had the breaking news, which, by the way, is going to be happening hopefully this upcoming Friday, but for sure next Friday after, week one is all done. We have more to talk about, more to bicker about, and stuff like that. Back to college football. Okay. That Ohio State Buckeye team is explosive. Very, very explosive, okay? They're going to be very dangerous in the college atmosphere, the college football atmosphere. And honestly, I think they're going to be a top 4 team at the end of the year. Basically, or solely off their offense, okay? Because, 31 points for the Gophers to put up is ridiculous. Granted, I guess they did, retain 80% of their starters from last season, so they have that chemistry built. They have, they know the playbook. They know what they need to do to get the job done. But, that defense held them off long enough, okay, to the point where Ohio State's offense really needed to get going, and that's exactly what they did, okay? That Ohio offense literally scored one play at a time. Just huge, huge plays. Gophers were in it pretty much all the way till the end, okay? The last 2 drives, I'd say, they were in the game, okay? They had a chance to get down by 3 or by 10 again, and hopefully making things a little bit more interesting, but then right off the bat, fucking C.J. Stroud back there, drops back, throws a beautiful bomb to Chris Olave, who, by the way, probably the best wide receiver going into this season for college football, at least in my eyes. He's a freak, of nature out there, and really wish nothing but the best for that guy, because he is going to be a very good player when he gets to the NFL, hopefully. But we can't really say that right now. But Ohio State's offense, if they keep moving along like that, they are going to make some noise. The only thing I'm worried about overall would be their quarterback, okay, that lack of experience, because that chemistry is hard to build. This is his first year starting there. Justin Fields just got drafted by the Bears, so they had to, get him through the process and out of there. So now it's C.J. Stroud's time, and I think, you're going to see a lot more risk being taken. But at the same time, I feel like he's going to succeed on some of those risks and not. It's not gonna deter him from going to the next level, or just being a better him, if you will. Okay, but that's one thing I really took away from that whole game was, okay, this is a really explosive Ohio State offense. Minnesota has all the power. to do what they will. They could put up some good fights here in the season, but a very unfortunate loss, not only in the game, but their running back, Mohamed Ibrahim. I think it's Ibrahim. Looking to be an absolute stud, leading rusher last year for the Gophers, and I believe he's up there in all time as well. But, I mean, this was going to be his year, okay? I mean, you have a big year, hopefully get drafted round 2, round 3-ish. That's what he was hoping for. Now his whole season's done, ended. I mean, I think it's his Achilles. I mean, you could see it in that slow-mo. He was running, and all of a sudden it was like a spring, just like a rubber band. You know how, like, when you stretch it out, you throw it like that, or you just let go, it shoots back. That's what it looked like. It wasn't really that great thing to see, but it is what it is. You roll with the punches, and I think that was solely the reason why Minnesota was able to stay in the game so long, was because of Mohamed Ibrahim. I think he rushed for over, if not close, or if not over, it was close to 200 yards rushing. Did phenomenal. Okay, the receiving end, we have that transfer from Texas A&M who's looking pretty solid. I think Tanner really liked him a lot. I think that's his name. I want to say it's Tanner, but you get the gist. Look, I don't watch much college football. You're gonna get what you're gonna get, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, tune it out. But I mean, that's pretty much all I got in that Gophers-Bucks game. Just be very cautious of, either betting on Ohio State or doing anything you will with Ohio State, because they're going to be fine. It's a very explosive offense. They're going to be able to put points on the board. Their defense is going to be able to hold teams, hopefully, to under 31 points the rest of the season, because that's going to be a huge factor, especially in their win-loss column going forward, and if they want to play for a national title and all that. So I'd be very wary on that freshman quarterback, or I think he's a sophomore quarterback, one of the two, on his risk-taking and moving down the field. He's going to be fine with Chris Olave still there, and their running backs, with, I think it's Master Teague, and they have 2 other guys that are absolute studs. So other than that, I'd say if their defense can hold teams to under 30 points the rest of the year, they're going to be fine. Their offense has just got to hopefully capitalize on some of those risks that they're going to take. Overall, good win from the Ohio State Buckeyes, moved them up in the ranking column. Now we're going to jump over to a guy that absolutely took the college football by storm, or the college football world by storm, and that is Alabama Crimson Tide quarterback Bryce Love. This man is going to be probably a number 1 overall pick from what I seen. I didn't watch the game, but I didn't need to see the highlights and see just how quickly he was able to put points on the board. Look, Alabama, number 1 rank overall, okay? Usually happens every year. Opening weekend, they get number 14, I believe, 14 rank Miami. Okay, the University of Miami. They get the U and all that. They beat these guys 44-13. A Miami team that's supposed to be very, very decent, okay? And then you look at Alabama. They had 5 first-round players get drafted this year. Okay, Alabama rarely holds on to, I'd say, players. A lot of transfers and all that, but they do keep farming players there where they'll stay for 2 or 3 years to get, obviously they're going to have to, once you come in as a freshman, you're going to have to sit, because let me tell you, that sophomore or that junior is going to be 10 times better than what you are. It's pretty much next in line, you know what I'm saying? So, but Bryce fucking Love, a 44-13 win over Miami keeps him in that number 1 spot. This man, 27 for 38 passing, 344 yards, and 4 touchdowns, 3 of which I'm pretty sure were in the first quarter. 21-0 start by Bryce Love. This is ridiculous, folks. Like, he shouldn't be playing Division I football right now. He should be playing NFL football. If he continues to do this the entire year, dude, the sky's the limit for this guy. Okay, I mean, he's going to get paid on not only name, image, and likeness, but he's going to get paid with a national title. He's going to get paid with a first-round overall, maybe first-pick, draft pick, and who knows what else. I mean, the sky is the absolute limit at this point. Okay, like I said earlier, Devontae Smith, their wide receiver, gone. Jalen Waddell, gone. Okay, you could talk about their running backs, gone. Quarterback, Mac Jones, gone. Now he's the quarterback. Bryce fucking Love. New style, new offense, new year. Fucking 44-13 victory over a 14th ranked Miami, University of Miami Hurricanes. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you besides Alabama's a real fucking deal and LSU isn't, because guess what? They lost as well this week, and they were ranked 16th, okay? LSU, the Tigers, they had Joe Burrow not too long ago. Justin Jefferson was there. They were looking pretty fucking good. Wait, did I say Jalen Waddell? No, sorry. Jamar Chase was LSU. Okay, back to this. But, LSU has been known for some good fucking football. Well, UCLA decides to come to town, okay? And just kicks that fucking door and says, not today. Fucking gets the dub 38-27 over LSU. Okay, I don't know a single soul on LSU besides I believe I think that defensive end plays for Oregon. But, I mean, I'll have to go back and check their roster. I don't think there's not really many standout-ish players, I feel like there. There probably will be as the season gets trucking along because, I mean, it was only week 1. But this is a huge loss, okay? For a lot of these teams, when you're supposed to be up in the top 4, one loss can mean your entire season. This could mean right here for LSU that there's no way in fucking hell they are going to go win or even play for a national championship at all. Now, I'm not sure if they're going to go do this whole play-in bracket for the playoffs this year. I'd have to go look on that again. I remember seeing something on it, so for all of you college football gurus out there, you can help me out a little bit maybe. But this is huge for LSU. This loss could be their entire season. I mean, you got to do better, okay? And I'm pretty sure this will probably drop them down to, being LSU, will probably only drop them down to 17, being, I don't know, maybe just a fluke loss or something like that. I mean, they did only lose by 11 points, so who knows? It is what it is. But big loss from LSU there to the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. I think that's how it is. I don't know. But let's move over to a big win, not necessarily a huge win, but a needed win by Ohio, the Ohio Hawkeyes. Or Ohio. Why am I saying Ohio? The Iowa Hawkeyes. I knew it sounds something really weird. Ohio Buckeyes, Iowa Hawkeyes, kind of similar right there, don't you think? But number 18, Iowa. Okay, they go in. They're taking on number 17, Indiana. They kind of need a win here. Not necessarily, make or break for your year. They're probably not going to play, for a national title or something like that because there are those names, the Alabama, the Georgia, the Clemson, maybe the LSU, maybe the Ohio State's going to be in there this year, stuff like that. But they need a win. Okay, if they get a win, this means higher rankings. This means they're going to be put even, they're going to have better matchups. They're going to have a better chance at going for a national title and all that. So they go in, they beat a number 17 Indiana, and they don't just beat them. They don't just go out there and piddly foot around or whatever. No, they go out there and they absolutely fucking throw them in the fucking trash, take them out back, dump them on the ground, step on them a little bit, and piss on them, and then walk back in and say, how's your day? 34-6. Iowa goes out, beats Indiana, a team that is higher ranked than them, by the way. Well, because of this win, and rightfully so. Iowa goes from rank 18, which I just seen not too long ago, to rank, I believe, 10 or 9. I know Iowa State is also moved all the way up there as well. Iowa State, who would have thunk, huh? I mean, Iowa or Iowa State. I mean, the Hawkeyes, I feel like, are more renowned over there. So, you're always thinking, Iowa, okay, they got wrestling, they got football, basketball is really good, and then Iowa State, you're like, oh, they got all those. I don't know how good they are. They could be good. All of a sudden, the last couple of years, their football team's starting to pick up steam. We got a couple guys or I think we got one from Iowa State on the Minnesota Vikings roster, so they're getting drafted. They're putting out people and prospects. I'm telling you, Iowa State's coming out of nowhere, and I'm liking it because these are underdogs. These are guys that probably, 10, 15 years ago would have never had the opportunity to do the things that they're doing now. This is good stuff. This is good news, especially for the world of football. All right, then we also had another loss. North Carolina, the Tar Heels. Sorry. Number 10 ranked. Looking like a good football team this year. I think it landed a lot of good recruits. Well, they go play Virginia Tech and lose 17-10. 17-10 on a game I'm very positive they were not supposed to lose, especially being ranked as high as they were. Top 10, okay? Number 10 in the nation out of all FBS football, and they lose. It is what it is. There's a lot of upsets that are going to happen week 1, just like it's going to happen in the NFL. Okay, you never know weeks 1 through 3, weeks 1 through 5, what the hell you actually have in place for a team. What's actually going to happen? Who's going to win this game? Fluke's going to happen. Okay, it's not until after the first couple weeks where you actually finally know, well, hey, okay, this team's going to beat the shit out of that team. This team, I'm not really sure. They've kind of been playing really similar, but we should be able to beat them. Oh, we're going to lose. Like, that's when you kind of figure it out a little bit. So what happens? There's going to be a lot of upsets. There's always upsets in college, whether that's football, basketball, baseball. I mean, it just always happens, especially March Madness. You guys always go fill out those brackets, including myself. And there's always one game you're like, are you fucking serious? Like, how? You know what I mean? So that was another big loss and big win from a non-ranked team. And then the other game, Georgia-Clemson, really boring. Okay, Georgia's ranked 5th, I believe. Now they have moved up to 3rd. I want to say I'm 100% on that. I just seen the poll not too long ago. So I think Georgia, with this win over Clemson, 10-3, was a very, very tightly knit game. Okay, they were fought back and forth, tooth and nail. I mean, both quarterbacks really couldn't get the ball moving. Okay, I mean, you got DJ Ugalele or whatever there down in Clemson, and then you got what's his name? I seen JT Daniels. You know, these are good quarterbacks. These are NFL caliber quarterbacks. They're gonna end up getting drafted. Okay, they had a hard fucking time against 2 top tier defenses. Okay, this is some good football. This really honestly wasn't college football. Okay, college football is high scoring. You get a lot of exciting plays. This was tooth and nail, fight to the end, 4th quarter, last second. This is what it comes down to. You better fucking win. You better not make a mistake. You gotta get, you know what I'm saying? Georgia gets the job done, 10-3 over Clemson, who was number 3 ranked. And I believe Clemson went down, I'm not sure, I think to 6 or something like that, and then Georgia went up to 3. So huge win, or a huge weekend of college football. We're gonna have more college football obviously this weekend, but the highlight of this weekend is obviously some NFL football. Sorry, Vikings. And that is what we are all about. So that's where we're going to kind of shift gears to now. More NFL news. We're going to go right to the Ravens. We're going to talk briefly on their tight end, Mark Andrews. Okay? So one thing going into the year the Ravens needed was weapons. Okay? We need a wide receiver. We need someone else to get, to have Lamar Jackson throw the ball to. Well, they go out, they dabble in Sammy Watkins. They end up signing Sammy Watkins. Okay, so I got Marquise Hollywood Brown, Sammy Watkins, and then they're in the draft stage. Okay, they're like, fuck it, let's go get Rashad Bateman. They go get Rashad Bateman. Okay, from the Minnesota Gophers, standout pretty much. He has an injury. He's not going to be playing the first, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks or something like that. So he's out for quite some time. Okay. But they already had their tight end position figured out. They thought they had the running back situation figured out. We'll get to that in a second. Hopefully they got it all narrowed out, which I'm pretty sure they do. But tight end was one position they were like, we're good. We're fine here. Okay, we've had, backups before to pair with this guy, and it's been fine. So this guy has to be our starter. Mark Andrews just signed a 4-year extension worth $56 million. I believe like $36 million, or somewhere around the $36 million area is guaranteed. I think he's making about $14 million average per year, which is, I believe, tied with George Kittle and Kelsey, or right behind those two. And there was one other stat that I think it's like, he's first in something, but you get the idea. $56 million, 4 years. They found their guy at tight end. They won't need to figure that out for at least 5 more years, 4 more years. But this is a huge sign. Okay, I mean, the number 1 target probably on the roster, other than Marquise Hollywood Brown, or I guess other than Lamar Jackson too. But I mean, this is huge, especially for Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson likes to roll outside the pocket. He likes to throw those little dishes. Right? He wants to dish it off to that tight end who's going to run a 3-yard up and out kind of route, you know what I'm saying? So those little curl routes, he likes to dish it, just get little chunks of yardage and move the ball slowly down the field And if he has to, he's going to roll outside the pocket and he's going to run his ass to the end zone and make, the Cincinnati Bengals look stupid again. And more teams probably. But, huge signing. Not really much more I can talk about besides they needed to do this, because if you lose Mark Andrews, that offense potentially falls apart. And that's not good for the Ravens. And I think they knew that. They hit it right on the nose. And they made this guy right here, Lamar Jackson, pretty fucking happy, I think. But other news, like we just talked about, their running back situation. We thought they had it figured out, right? They come into this season, all right? J.K. Dobbins, starting running back. They got Justice Hill, their backup guy. And then they got Gus Edwards, who's going to mix in there here from time to time with Justice Hill as a backup. Well, as training camp gets going, preseason gets going, J.K. Dobbins tore his ACL. Fuck. Well, all right, at least we still got Justice Hill and Gus Edwards. We should be able to, hit him with the 1-2 punch still. I'm liking this. We'll be just fine. That's the reason why we signed these guys. We still have 2 more guys. One guy will be on the practice squad. One will be, maybe signed to the 3rd spot until, one of those guys comes back healthy, or if he comes back healthy. Well, just the other day, I believe it was in practice, Justice Hill, their second running back, the guy who was supposed to be their starter now, ruptures his Achilles. Well, his season's done. Okay, so now they lose J.K. Dobbins, they lose Justice Hill. So now they're stuck with Gus Edwards, who, by the way, I really like. I think he has a lot of potential to do good things in this league. I don't necessarily think he's going to be a starter at any time soon. But I do believe he has the ability to be a very good backup, come in there only when they need him, and get the yards. Okay, but he's, like I said, he's not a starter. So that right then and there, that puts you at the crossroads of like, fuck, do I roll with this and roll with the backup after like the 4th string running back, or like what do I do? Because now like right, like Jake Funk or something like that. I remember we talked about that a while ago, unless he was with the Rams, but. You get my drift. So they're stuck with Gus Edwards. Like I said, I like this guy. All right, there should be no problem rolling with him. But you also have to look at the rest of the team. Like, is this going to help the team out in the long run? Probably not. You're not going to want to roll with a 3 and 4 running back the whole season. It's just like you on your fantasy team going in there and being like, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start Kirk Cousins over Josh Allen, who's playing the Bengals today. And I'm not saying Kirk Cousins playing, but it's just a scenario. Like, what? Like, why? Like, that's just dumb, right? Well, yesterday, they brought in Le'Veon Bell and Donta Foreman. I want to say, is this how do you say his name? I always forget. Devonta Foreman. Or Freeman, excuse me. Running back for the Atlanta Falcons for some time, went over to the Giants, spent some time there last year, didn't do that great. I fucking picked him up in my fantasy thinking he was going to do something. Stupid me. And he's in free agency, okay? He's worked out for a couple teams. I believe he worked out with the Rams. I believe he worked out with the Lions. Okay, but he's working out here with the Ravens with Le'Veon Bell, Lev Bell. My stance was pretty strong on Le'Veon Bell earlier this year when he wanted to make comments about Andy Reid and wanted to be a crybaby like he has been the last 4 or 5 years now since he had that one stellar year with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and every year since then he's been dog shit. I mean, it's just facts, folks. Like, when has he been relevant? Never. All right, but we're gonna put all that aside. I like this, and just before the show, actually about 25 minutes before the show kicked off, there was breaking news, and I'm going to break it here too. Le'Veon Bell has been signed to the Baltimore Ravens practice squad. Basically what that means is they signed him, and they're waiting for all the paperwork and all the physical and all that stuff to come through on the other side, look all good, look A+, and all of that, and then bam. He's signed to the 53-man roster. He's going to be the starting running back, more than likely, for the Baltimore Ravens. Probably not, and more than likely won't be the starter for Week 1. I think that'll be Gus Edwards. Maybe you'll see a mix of Le'Veon Bell coming in there, but I think it's going to be more Gus Edwards, Tyson Williams type of backfield there for a little bit, and I think we're going to see a lot of Le'Veon Bell going forward. Probably week 2, week 3, we're going to see a lot. I think that's week 3 is probably, that point where we're really going to see like Le'Veon's the 100% the starter. You don't have to worry about the split reps. It's going to be Le'Veon Bell. Gus Edwards will come in when they're needed, when he's needed. But this is a huge sign, okay? Very huge signing for the Ravens. We've all noted, how they don't have a passing attack. And granted, signing a running back, you're working on the running game. But the one thing about Le'Veon Bell that I will say is really good is he's always been a consistent enough receiving back as well. Okay, kind of Christian McCaffrey type back there. He can run fucking however good he wants. Okay, he can light it up on the field when he's doing that, or when he's running. Just can't talk. All right, but he can also catch the lights out of the ball. Okay, he comes out, rolls out for a little, halfback swing toss or whatever you want to call it. Fucking, he's right there. He's gonna get at least 5 yards. That's all you need out of him. Huge signing for the Ravens. Now start him. You got Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, Lev Bell. Now he's going to get a lot more publicity. Media is going to be surrounding him. Is he going to have a comeback year? Is he going to have that one year where it was like 2016 or whatnot and he just went crazy? No, get over yourself. It's not going to happen. He's still with the Ravens. The offense, it's all Lamar-based. He's going to run the fuck out of the ball. Lev Bell will be lucky to get 800 yards rushing. Okay, that's the moral of the story. He's going to be lucky enough to get that. Now, if it was J.K. Dobbins, I'd say probably 800 is a good stat line for him. I think he has the potential to reach 1,000 yards, but again, with Lamar Jackson behind center, he's going to run the ball quite a bit. That's just how it is and how the cookie crumbles. So the yardage is going to get taken away from that. But this is huge. Okay, Le'Veon Bell to the Ravens could actually potentially throw the Ravens back into that playoff contention or that playoff, talks. Like, hey, they could possibly break into the playoffs. They're not going to win their division. Okay, I think that, at least from my standpoint, I think that's the Browns division. I think the Steelers are a close second. I think the Ravens Steelers is going to be an interesting scenario. I think they're going to have similar records, even though that Steeler defense is just absolutely ridiculous. But that Ravens team, they're relentless, dude. Like, they're going to hit you, and they're going to hit you hard, and they're going to hit you fast, especially when you can't figure out or stop Lamar Jackson. You're going to have one hell of a time, okay? But big signing, especially for the Baltimore Ravens, who are looking to go back to their 3rd straight playoffs. Hopefully don't fucking blow it again, but that might, ultimately end up happening. Who knows, maybe they'll even miss the playoffs. But huge signing, especially after losing 2 potential starting running backs in Justice Hill and J.K. Dobbins. So enough on the college football and the Ravens situation. Let's finish off with the Houston Texans, who have officially named their starting quarterback Tyrod Taylor. Let's give him a round, folks. Let's give him a round of applause. Hell yeah to Tyrod Taylor to get another chance. I mean, this guy has had one hell of an unlucky time in the NFL. Okay? Goes to the Bills. Well, it gets shipped out of there, okay, for Josh Allen, I'm pretty sure. Goes to the Browns, has a chance to start. Baker Mayfield just absolutely tears it up. All right, what do? Well, he gets let go. Bam. Chargers. All right, he looks like he's going to start a couple games. Justin Herbert's going to take the rookie bench, try to learn the game, learn the offense behind Tyrod Taylor, and some doctor comes in and say, you know what? Come here. And just fucking gives him a shot right in the chest, punctures his fucking lungs so the guy couldn't even fucking breathe. And it's Justin Herbert time. It's the Herbert show out there. He takes over the rest of the season. Tyrod's like, what the fuck? Like, dude, screw that doctor. Like, dude, this is my chance to shine, take over the team, like, do my thing. What the fuck is going on? Well, he gets his opportunity thanks to Deshaun Watson, who just doesn't seem to be all there, but it is what it is. Okay, Deshaun Watson obviously isn't going to get the starter. If you haven't heard the recent reports, he's basically been sitting out for training camp. He's there, he's getting all the the knowledge and stuff, but he's sitting out. All right. We got those civil cases that he has to face, and apparently they're not going to court till next year, unless so. there's really a lot of uncertainty with that going around, so that's why the Houston Texans don't want to roll with him right away. Win a couple games, and all of a sudden he's gone, lose the morale of the team, and things are just in more shambles than it already was. Okay. So that was one of the big reasons that he's not going to start. The second one, okay, he just doesn't want to be a fucking Houston Texan. Who does? Like, nobody. All right, the guys that are there, the stars that are there, guarantee you, if they were a free agent, or if they had the time, or if it was their turn to be a free agent, Houston Texans came knocking on the door and said, hey, you want to come back? We can give you this and this and this. They're like, well, hold on a sec. They get a call from, say, fucking New England, Kansas City, Tampa Bay. Hey, we'll offer you the same but with more guaranteed, or we'll give you a better contract, blah, blah. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Get me out of here. Click. And they're gone. Like, Houston and the Jets are just two organizations right now that is just... The Jets are they're more on the come up, I'd say, from last year than the Houston Texans, where the Texans were kind of like, here's another team for you. We got one for you. Like, that's kind of what they are. They're a team that, yeah, they could do good, but they need stars. They need a Watson. They need a receiver like Hopkins. They got rid of him. They need a defensive end. J.J. Watt got rid of him. It's like, what are they doing? Wasting money, wasting wins, and that's it, okay? Wasting talent. That's all they're doing over there. And I'm glad for Tyrod. Really glad. This is a chance to show what he's actually got. And I think he can win a couple games. I think Tyrod is the worst version of a Deshaun Watson. He's able to run. He's able to throw very well. It's just kind of, who do you think's better quarterback? Watson, Taylor? Watson, obviously. I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles. But good to know Tyrod Taylor starting week 1 for the Houston Texans. So if you haven't done your fantasy drafts, or if you have, hurry up. Season starts Thursday. Remember, Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going head-to-head. Got to get those lineups set. And all of that. So that's going to end the show, okay? Basically, just got to the gist of the information that we missed. Tomorrow we're going to explain, the Thursday night game between the Cowboys and Buccaneers, and then we're going to jump into more games around the league that are going to happen, the ones that you should probably watch and keep an eye on, and all the players kind of going into week 1. So, hey, like I said, it's going to do it for the show today as we inch closer and closer and closer and closer to week 1 of the NFL regular season opening day, 2 days away this Thursday. Really, really pumped. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow, okay, to talk more football, and you just got your fix with the Wicks. I appreciate it. Have a good one.